Hey guys, what's up? NullRage here, and today we're taking a look at the 52 review for Hulk. Let's go ahead and hop in to his violence tree here. The first skill we've got in the tree is Brutal Swing. It's going to deal physical damage and restore 5% of your maximum anger on hit. Now, anger is Hulk's new spirit replacement mechanic. You have 1,000 anger, and when you get to max anger, all of your skills will gain bonus effects, and we'll go over each of those as we go over the skills. So Brutal Swing here, its bonus effect that you gain at maximum anger is increased attack speed. So let's go earn up some anger. A few notes on anger: it will decrease if you are out of combat after a short period of time. You can gain it by hitting enemies and by getting hit yourself. Hitting any enemy with any attack will cause anger to pause its degeneration. So it will just sit there until you are out of combat for a certain period of time. And then, alright, so Brutal Swing gains an attack speed bonus when at maximum anger. There you can see that. The next skill in the tree is Gamma Strike, physical damage, and when you are very angry, this skill gets Brutal Strike chance increased by 10%, and that it seems to be a percentage of your maximum anger. So things that increase your maximum anger will also increase the Brutal Strike chance and Brutal Strike damage gained by this skill. Things like a Macron Crystal or Gaborum runes or relics, something like that. So here's Gamma Strike, and as you can see, I am gaining anger even with Gamma Strike. All skills will cause you to gain anger, although some, like Brutal Swing, will cause you to gain more. And if I had any crit right now, then I would have extra brutal chance and damage with Gamma Strike, due to being very angry. Now, Cratering Stomp is the next skill in the tree. It is a point-blank AoE. Physical damage and a weakening effect. Also pulls nearby enemies towards you. It has a 2-second cooldown. And when you're very angry, it will increase all of your violence powers damage rating for 8 seconds. So anything in this tree will do more damage after hitting with Cratering Stomp when used when very angry. There's Cratering Stomp. And let's go ahead and build up some anger here. And now you can maybe see that I'm hitting a bit harder than I was just a second ago. Alright, then we've got Vicious Headbutt. Physical damage and a physical bleed. When very angry, the bleed increases to 8 seconds instead of 4. It also has a knockdown component to it. And it's not just a headbutt. There's also a combo to this skill, animation-wise. The effect doesn't really change, but I like the animation. Cool. Alright, so Thunder's Hand Clap is currently tagged as his signature. There's been a lot of talk, though, that Meteor Strike may in fact be his signature. We'll have to wait until the build goes live to see which one actually ends up being his signature. One of these two, Meteor Strike or Thunder's Hand Clap. Right now, though, we're going to run on the assumption that Thunder's Hand Clap is the signature. He's going to clap his hands and crush enemies, creating a shockwave that knocks back enemies and reflects projectiles in front of you. You're going to deal physical damage and a physical damage shockwave. The damage, of course, will scale off your ultimate. 25-second cooldown. Let's have a look at Thunder's Hand Clap. Did I put it on the bar? Yeah. Alright. So, these, well, this one for sure, and maybe some other enemies close to you, and like really, really close, will take that initial physical damage, but everything around you, everything in front of you rather, will take that physical shockwave damage. It does not affect anything behind you. It is a thunderous hand clap and hits anything in front of you. Let's have a look one more time at thunderous hand clap. Pretty cool ability. Now we've got Pummel is next in the tree. It's sort of similar to Dempsey Roll on Luke Cage, where he does a series of punches. You're going to do 4 hits for physical damage. It's got a cooldown of 8 seconds, and when you're very angry, the cooldown reduces to 6. Have a look at Pummel. You'll notice the final hit on Pummel is AoE. It's not tagged as an area ability, but the final hit does hit multiple targets. Now we've got Rage, the Rage tree. First skill here we've got is Unbridled Rampage. It's a passive, giving you damage rating, crit rating, and critical damage rating. And it looks like those bonuses will scale based on your anger. The more anger you have, the more bonus to those damage ratings you will gain, and when you are very angry, you will get an increase to attack and move speeds. Alright. Next up we've got Hulk Fast. Hulk Fast is pretty cool. Put the rest of this on the bar. Hulk Fast is Hulk's new travel power. It's going to cause you to leap forward with a high and fast arc, crashing straight through enemies and obstacles as you bound across the battlefield. It's also going to regenerate some anger as you go, and when you are very angry, you will deal physical area damage. Alright, let's have a look at Hulk Fast. This is pretty cool. I like it because it, I think we've seen Hulk do this kind of movement in a few movies before. There you can see the area damage being dealt after hitting max anger. It's a little bit different than most travel powers though, and it may take some getting used to use effectively. It's also quite a bit slower than just doing this, just dashing through. But you do gain anger when you use it, and it's easier to use than just dashing around. Alright. Moving on, we've got Furious Punch. Let's go ahead and, do I have it? I have that on the bar already. Alright. Physical damage and regenerate health on hit. When you're very angry, the regeneration effect will double. Just a basic. I like the open-handed palm slap.
Feel that?
I'm sure they felt that. Alright, moving on, we've got Hulk Tough. It's his defensive passive. Gonna negate some damage just by 1 point put in the skill. You've got 25% damage negation. You got some defense, some max health, some regen. You also have this really cool revive effect. Regenerate 100% of your maximum health when you are defeated. Cooldown 5 minutes. You and your allies gain toughness. And it's also your CC breaker. Here's how it scales. Alright, so I said the revive effect was awesome, and I meant it. Let's go get beat down by
For the
this
glory of
Hulk.
Hydra. That's starting to hurt.
So when he gets beat down, he goes back into human form, but then enrages and pulls back into the Hulk. Pretty cool. I love the animation on that. Very, very well done. Alright, next up we've got Deafening Roar. Gain 50 anger, or 50% anger. It's got a cooldown of 10 seconds. It's also going to weaken anything around you. And Terrify as well. weaken and cower anything around you, and gain 50% of your anger. It's got a really cool animation, actually. Zoom in a bit. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Alright. Now we've got Meteor Strike is next skill in the tree. Like I said, it could be his signature. It used to be his ultimate before the 52 review. Now that is replaced with World Breaker. Let's have a look at Meteor Strike. Notice it's going to do physical damage. It's going to smash for a physical damage. Does it mention what type of damage? It actually doesn't mention what type of damage, but I'm going to assume physical damage since everything else Hulk does is physical damage. And the initial smash will deal some damage, then it will send out some debris that will also deal some damage. It's going to stun for 2 seconds. It's an irresistible stun. And also instantly refresh all powers on cooldown, which is great because Hulk has a number of pretty hefty cooldowns here. Knuckle Dusters and Thunderclap being among those. Alright, let's have a look. There you go. That's it. Jump up into space and bring a meteor down on their face. I like it. Alright, moving on to Wreckage Tree, we've got Tremor Fist, Demolishing Charge, Hulk Smash, Avalanche Leap, Rubble Toss, and finally Knuckle Dusters. So, Tremor Fist is going to do a Shockwave and an Earthquake. Okay, both physical damage effects. It's got a knockdown on it, slows targets that are affected, and when you're very angry, 50% increase in area of effect and range. So we'll look at Tremor Fist.
You want another?
I think there's a shockwave around you, but there's also an earthquake going out. Oh my god. When you rank it up, when you hit max anger, that's amazing. That's awesome. So you see this shockwave going out, but there's also an earthquake up close doing, double the damage. That's a really cool skill. Alright, now we've got Demolishing Charge, physical damage and physical damage in an area. It's got a knockdown on it and increased area of effect when you're very angry. It's your basic dash, basic dodge thing. It looks like there's 2 damage components, one where you dash through them and one that is an AoE where you land. Pretty cool skill. Now, next up we've got Hulk Smash. Hulk's one channeled ability or charged ability or something like that. Physical damage and 100% increased damage when fully charged. It's also going to knock down. The area of effect increases at max anger. Where's it at? There it is. 3. Alright. So it does automatically release after hitting, charging it to full. It will automatically release. And when you get it, wow, the area of effect really increases. At least visually, it does. When you get to max anger. That's a pretty cool skill. Next up, we've got Avalanche Leap. You're gonna leap into the air and come down, dealing physical damage and applying a tremor where you land. Tremor will last for 8 seconds. You'll also apply vulnerability for 8 seconds. And the area of effect increases at max anger. There you go. You can see the damage being dealt by the tremor. Again, there is a physical damage component to landing and then the tremor afterwards. So 2 damage packets, as they say. Next up, you've got Rubble Toss, dealing physical damage, cooldown of 6 seconds, and increased area of effect when at max anger, and also gives you a damage rating buff to any wreckage powers when you're at max anger. Here's Rubble Toss. Oh, animation got lagged through. Let's use that again. Just picks up a piece of concrete and throws it at him. Hulk's never been one to think too hard about his plan of attack. Just pick up whatever's close and throw it at him. I like it. Alright, now finally we've got Knuckle Dusters. Now this is one of my favorite abilities of the tree. He's gonna pull down a car, or break apart a car. I don't know, a car appears from somewhere. He breaks it apart, puts it on like boxing gloves. What more do you need to hear? You're also going to go invulnerable for 2 seconds during, I guess, the animation of pulling down the pulling apart the car. Deal some physical damage with that, and then gain a buff. The buff will cause you to do a melee, extra melee damage when you hit. It's going to give you a critical hit rating bonus, and also 15% chance to block attacks. Makes you immune to crowd control. The buff duration is 8 seconds, cooldown is 40 seconds. Let's have a look at Knuckle Dusters. Again, it can only be used when you are at maximum anger. So you have to max out your anger first. And then Knuckle Dusters.
Shut up!
How cool is that? That's awesome. I like it. I like it. Alright, finally we've got World Breaker. Again, the cooldown on this is 40 seconds, but the cooldown can be refreshed with Meteor Strike. So, you know, play those two together along with Thunder's Hand Clap, and you've got a pretty awesome combo here. Alright, so World Breaker, physical damage, and then a physical dot. It has an area duration of 20 seconds and applies a irresistible stun for 1.8 seconds. During that 20 seconds, you're going to gain critical chance, critical damage, brutal chance, and brutal damage. Become very angry for the entire duration as well. Awesome. Awesome. So let's have a look at World Breaker. Oh, that is awesome, man. You also grow in size. I don't know if that was mentioned, probably in the tooltip somewhere.
Shut up!
And of course, you're very angry, so all of your skills have their full ability. Alright, very cool. Well, that was Hulk's 52 review. I'm looking forward to playing this guy when he goes live. Let me know what you think, guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Probably Deadpool. Probably a look at the new team up Deadpool going in. Alright, until next time, take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.